movie.
His ankle wings,
action-
Randy.
The ankle wings. I
His
love the
ankle
fucking ankle wings.
His ankle wings.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm more interested in this version
so
of Namor
stupid,
than
and it worked so well.
I've never been
I
interested in
know.
Namor in the comics, but I love this version of Namor.
Seeing the wings was like seeing Starro in the Suicide Squad. I was like,
You're like,
oh,
wait,
yes,
what?
it's so it's so dumb, and yet I'm looking at it going, no, that's okay.
Yeah,
Holy
legit.
shit.
Yeah, they made it work. Yeah.
Though when he came drifting down on his little ankle wings, and all I could think was, that dude has come to steal your invisible girl.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
that was very Ultimate Fantastic Four of like Richards.
yeah, I was like, oh man. I was trying to explain to Fanny, I was like, you don't understand. Namor's magical, his mutant ability is to roll up anytime Reed's having a fight with Sue. Like every goddamn
sense
time.
it.
He can
knows.
feel it through the ocean. Like the whales tell him, like, you got a shot, bro.
Hey, girl.
Yep. Hey, girl. Episode 405 of the TV Dudes, recorded October 5th, 2022. Fractured Families. This week, we're talking about some fractured families. The dysfunctional lawyer slash doctor slash disgraced PI at the center of So Help Me Todd on Paramount Plus takes center stage. But we're also talking about the second season of Mighty Ducks Gamechangers on Disney Plus, which sees the father figure depart because of a contract dispute. But the new dad, Josh Duhamel, is there to join the show. But before we get to all that, I'm Randy.
I'm Les.
And I'm Nick, and I'm hurting for a yurtin.
Is it Josh Duhamel? Duhamel? I don't have any idea how to pronounce that
Duhamel,
dude's name.
I think.
Yeah, he's a
Josh Duhamel. It's Duhamel.
He's a generic handsome graying fox.
Yes.
Oh, I called him Diet Timothy Oliphant.
Yes, that is a good way to put him.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
Randy, I know you have posters up of Jupiter's Legacy
Oh,
all
and I
over your
forgot that
room.
was him. I
Yep.
forgot that was him. Because, I honestly, I think Netflix in a few years is going to forget they made that show.
They're
Do you
gonna
want
pitch
Timothy
that
Oliphant
again,
without any of the Southern charm?
right?
Do I have an actor for you?
It's the cardboard stand-in for Tim. I bag on Josh Duhamel. I actually like Josh Duhamel. He's all right. I think that's the problem though. He's all right. Like,
Yeah.
he is inoffensive. It's like Sam Worthington. He's never done anything wrong to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I know his name really.
That I remember. He could have.
That's
Yeah,
100%.
That I remember.
Right, yeah, who would have known?
The best thing I know about Josh Duhamel is that Alex Moran from Blue Mountain State is loosely based on him. The lead character in Blue Mountain State is a second string quarterback at a winning school, so he doesn't actually get hit in football. He doesn't have to actually play. He just gets all the perks of being on a winning football team. And there are opportunities in Blue Mountain State to advance, and he works to not.
I mean, it's good
Wow,
work
that
if you can get
sounds
it.
so much like Josh Duhamel.
Yes, and that apparently at Minot College or whatever the hell that is, they had a pretty good football program, and Duhamel was the second string QB.
No, I'm exactly at this right level of effort. I'm good right here.
Which is funny because I also remember interviews where Tim Oliphant bitched about Deadwood making him too famous, and now he has to actually weigh good and bad scripts when he used to just take next job.
Now Josh Duhamel's like, I'm never having that problem.
Right? Now people are mad at me because I did Hitman. Like, fuck you.
All right, let's jump in and talk about our TV diaries.
The Diaries of the Television Dudes. Brought to you by only the finest cocaine wine.
Y'all, I watched a bunch of stuff this week. I watched so much stuff.
Yeah, you did. Damn.
We're into October, and so I started watching horror movies, and I added that on top of my other TV.
Fuck yeah.
And then I sort of, found some other stuff. So,
Randy, I see a bunch of Marvel Studios Legends stuff in here. That's like some of the behind the scenes thing. I don't know if I've been meaning to tell you about this Marvel Studios thing. I don't know if you've seen any of these movies. They're fucking great. I think you'd love them.
Marvel, like the comic books?
Yes. Yeah, they're like,
They make
I know
movies of
they're
those?
capes. They're capes and it's for kids, but I think you'll dig them.
Is it like the Spawn movie? Is it anything like the Spawn movie?
It is not as good as the Spawn
I do love
movie.
that Disney gets to put out the special features to their DVDs like they're their own show and kind of be like, and content.
I mean, they are now, because who's buying DVDs? I mean,
Right?
really, just the freaks that we know are buying DVDs and
Right,
Blu-rays.
right.
Most people in life
What
are not
idiots are buying
anything anymore.
DVDs except for the 3 people on this call?
Overseas PlayStation Network members.
Les went to a VHS swap last week or some shit.
Yes, I did go to a VHS swap last week. So
Oh my God.
me.
I mean, that makes sense. There's a bunch of stuff that's only on VHS. I get
Yes,
that.
I got Wes Craven's Chiller,
Okay.
which is the best piece of marketing copy I've read in years. The back of that tape starts an interesting made-for-TV effort.
Oh, Jesus. It's not.
When even your marketing team can't bullshit it,
No.
That's like what your mom says after she's
it
seen your
really
student
is.
film.
It seems
That's
like,
rough.
yeah. Wes Craven's mom, I think, printed this tape box.
What an interesting effort, Wes.
Wes,
It feels-
you did your best. And that's what's important.
This movie's hung up on a fridge. Yeah.
So, yes,
Oh,
I did.
man.
I was doing some work and I needed a background watch, and so I put on the Marvel Studios Legends, which is the things they cut together clips of all the character from whatever their movies they've been before their shows on. So Hawkeye, Wong, Doctor Strange, Hulk, all that stuff. It was fun to sort of revisit that stuff in 5-minute chunks. And then I moved on to the Assembled, which is the makings of. And the making of Hawkeye, the making of Moon Knight, the making of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, they're all super charming. And to some extent, like, Multiverse of Madness made me want to watch the movie again, which is pretty good.
Sure.
The making of Hawkeye was delightful. I'm watching that and I'm like, man, everyone on this show is both A, seem to be like learning things as they go, and B, are surprised they're letting them make this. Like, they're all surprised that we're making this version of this show. They're like, you're going to let us have the Kingpin? Are you serious? Like, there's all kinds of moments of like, of Hawkeye them talking about, getting the people that they got for it, and just, yeah, I don't know how they were going to do this. I guess they brought Haley Steinfeld in, and Kevin Feige was like offered her the role in the room, and nobody else knew he was going to do that.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I suppose
Yeah.
that's a way to flex your power. Like, what are you going to do? Unhire her? I dare you.
So I watched all those. That was good. I'm continuing my watch through of Good Place. I'm on season 3. Watching season 2 of Parks and Rec. Kept up with Atlanta, which continues to be great. We should probably throw that into dessert at some point, but it's one of those starts middle of the week and I forget about it. Keeping up with Reboot. Second season of Ghost came back strong. Really liked that. Watched a couple horror movies. The Iranian Under the Shadow, which I definitely recommend if y'all have not seen. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's all sort of takes place in an apartment building during the Iran-Iraq War. It focuses on a woman and her daughter, and it gives me sort of Babadook vibes a little bit. I would definitely recommend it. And then I watched the Chinese horror movie Incantation, which have either of y'all seen that?
No, it just was interested in it because of watching or reading your little review of it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and I believe it came out this year, and it is very, very interesting. It's a little long. I feel like it could cut 20 minutes off, but it's really good.
Everything could.
Yes.
So that's 40 minutes of less time.
I caught up on last week tonight. This week's was about the museums and had a delightful bit of Kamal Nanjiani basically saying fuck you to every museum in the world, which I enjoyed. And then caught up on The Patient, also sort of doing a background watch kind of thing. And again, I think we've talked about this, but if The Patient had been bingeable, I would have watched all of it.
Yeah.
But because they've been it week to week, it keeps falling in that, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this, but I watched these last 2, and in episode 6, or maybe episode 5, the end of episode 5, there's this holy shit moment that they do where I'm like, well, where are they going from here?
Well, they're short. They're short, and they have great cliffhangers at the end. But you're right.
Yeah, they
By
do.
the time the next week rolls around, you're kind of like, I got other stuff on my plate.
Yeah. And then partly for use for this week's Patreon, we were looking at possibilities. I watched about 30 minutes of My Best Friend's Exorcism, hated it, turned it off, and then went instead and watched X and Vengeance. Vengeance was surprisingly fun. It's a BJ Novak. BJ Novak has slightly redeemed himself. I have forgiven him for half of the premise now.
The half you watched, or
When you mentioned BJ Novak and I started looking at Vengeance, and I realized, so I have had to admit over the last few years, I straight don't like The Office. I've tried to rewatch it. There's just something in the tone that's wrong. Everybody does great work on it, but the show together doesn't hit me right. And
I get that.
And I kept thinking like, oh yeah, BJ Novak, I like him, except for, and I looked at the list of stuff. It was like, but I don't know that I've ever liked BJ Novak, really. I think I
like him, except for all the stuff he's done.
He's in a list of people we like, but why?
Why?
Yeah, and I think the premise was finally where I like, oh man, now I've stared straight at you, and I realized that I don't think ever really dug you.
Fair. Okay. All right.
So yeah, I really wish. I mean, I'm going to give Vengeance a shot at some point. Like, it is squarely crime wise, like aimed at me.
Well, I mean, I just to give a couple little tidbits. It opens with BJ Novak and his like douchebag New York friends on the rooftop party, and it's just them going back and forth talking about hookups. And each one of them, one of them has a line, and the other one says 100%, and the other one says something about some girl 100%. And they say 100% so many times it starts losing meaning, and it feels like such a bro thing. And then there's this bit in Texas. So what happened? The premise of the movie basically, this girl he was hooking up with. She was in New York, but she was really from Texas. He gets a call from her brother, played by Boyd Holbrook, who is great in this, in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., and he's crying, and he's telling her, he's like, yeah, your girlfriend's dead. And he's like, my girlfriend? I don't, what are you talking about? And turns out this girl that he hooked up with, she died of like an OxyContin overdose. Her brother is convinced it was a murder, but the brother is like, he's basically like, you can come out to the funeral. He's like, well, yeah, definitely tell me where to send flowers. And he's like, no, you don't have to send flowers. Don't worry. You just come on out. He's like, well, no, I'll send some flowers. I'm not going to come. He's like, no, don't worry. Maybe we can get flowers in the airport. Like, he is going to come to this funeral. And so at the next day, he calls the mom, or no, I think he's talking to the brother about like going out there. And he's like, so yeah, Texas, is it like in Austin? He's like, no, it's not Austin. He's like, well, Dallas is in Texas. He's like, like Houston's a whole nother country, man. Do you know where Abilene is?
Oh shit. Okay.
He's like, oh no, it's better. He's like, Abilene. I don't know that. He's like, okay, Abilene's about 3 hours outside of Dallas. We're about 5 hours outside of Abilene. I lost it. I was like, that's fucking great. That is so perfect. And there's several moments like that of them just like, there's a whole runner about Whataburger that is just delightful. So as like BJ Novak, for as much as I'm like, you're kind of a New York douchebag here, like he definitely got small town Texas in a level I was surprised at.
Well, cool.
And it's fun to watch. So I didn't love Vengeance, but like Ashton Kutcher is great in this role here. Boyd Holbrook is great. BJ Novak is really good. Like everybody in it is good, and it was surprisingly fun. I would definitely recommend it. Very
cool. Did you have to go to the theater to see that?
No, I watched it on Hulu or Peacock. It's on Peacock.
Got it.
Probably some kind of office training. And then I watched the latest episode of Quantum Leap, which has him as a boxer in 70s Vegas or 80s Vegas. And
70s.
Man, that show's so good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm surprised. We were talking a little bit off mic, me and Nick.
I'm shocked.
And it's like that perfect USA Network show. Like this could have sandwiched right between like Burn Notice and Suits.
Mm-hmm. It is taken. There's nostalgia that is filling in a mortar crack there. That's a little short of Burn Notice for me. But yeah, it's in my diary as well.
Yeah, what's weird is I don't have any nostalgia for Quantum Leap, but I'm enjoying this version of it. Maybe I just needed a comfort show. Anyway, speaking of TV diaries, Les, what do you got?
So Nick and I watched Stay Tuned with John Ritter, which he had never seen, which is an amazing movie with Jeffrey Jones as the devil.
Mm-hmm, you can't make a movie with 80% puns. Watch me.
Yeah. Eugene Levy says you can. We also watched Killer Shrews, the 1959 classic, which was done in an MST3K. The tagline for that movie is fantastic. Killer Shrews, your skin will crawl with their nearness.
That is
no,
that is
Les,
creepy.
That's stupid. The line is your skin will crawl at their nearness.
At their nearness. I'm sorry, the preposition makes it really twist the knife there.
The other thing you said was ridiculous.
Yes, the any other phrasing is just dumb. Yeah, so these are clearly like smallish dogs, like mid-sized dogs, maybe.
They're such good boys.
With some cloth thrown over them, so there was a whole lot of Nick and I going, "Oh, them's the goodest boys." As these dogs run around and people pretend to be scared of them. And basically, like, the shrews in this movie are only deadly because they're crazy poisonous, like shrews are, I guess. Anyway,
I don't know.
It was a movie. It was pretty funny. There's a colorized version that actually looked worse. We watched the black and white. Watched Puppet Master Axis Rising and Puppet Master Axis Termination, which were both worse than the first one of that trilogy.
No, Axis Rising was the one that was.
Oh no, Axis Rising was the best. I'm sorry. Axis Rising ends on like an Empire Strikes Back dark note where they don't know how they're gonna defeat the evil Nazi puppets that have been created, and they bring back Six Shooter, which is their coolest puppet model.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third movie literally just doesn't do any of that. They open the third movie by shooting the two characters that would have done that. They both die, and we move forward with a different movie.
None of the puppets even fight each other. It's bullshit.
Not a one. It was so angry. I was just like, God damn you. I mean, people complain about like, oh, there's that middle Star Wars movie that was done by somebody else, and then they undid it. No. This is a pissing contest. I don't know what happened, but they just undo the second movie. It feels like a middle finger.
They undo the premise of it. Although the Nazi puppets in the second one, they do have fights with it. You know, Weremutt fights with like with Pinhead, and they have like this weird battle brawl with it. Also, there's a cat fight between the two girl puppets because of course.
Yes, Leech Woman and
Bombshell.
That's right. With the gun tits.
Bombshell is the Nazi dominatrix puppet that has machine guns in her tits.
Yep, that's
right. I swear to God, you're just trying to see if I'm listening. I am listening.
Yeah, so those are movies. We also watched Blade: The Iron Cross, which is the Blade origin movie, which actually undoes most of the timeline of that franchise.
Wait, what?
Shocking.
No, not. I'm sorry, Randy. You're thinking Blade is in some kind of vampire hunter,
yes,
right?
Yes.
No.
This is a tiny, pasty puppet in some kind of like West Berlin German noir garb.
Blade is the main puppet of the franchise. He's like the mascot of the Puppet Master franchise.
Basically, he's the baby Oopsie Daisy.
I swear, for a second, I thought I'd slipped into some kind of Berenstain universe. I was like, "What Blade?" I know I've seen all the Blade movies.
No, you haven't seen this one.
Also, I love that, like, that one in Blade, there's, like, oh, why is Blade the only puppet? Because they only bring one puppet out of the chest. The other puppets are in the movie. They just don't.
Yeah, we really thought there was going to be some kind of plot explanation of, like, okay, all these characters are stuck in another location, and that's why it's just Blade. No. All these characters are downstairs in a box.
We've watched 14
that was on
Puppet
me.
Master movies, and we still thought they would explain something.
Though the psychics really are what's wrong with that franchise. There were several movies that did not have a subplot with a bunch of psychics in the building, and they were much better movies. Yeah, they brought back the psychics, and immediately the whole franchise slowed down. So we also watched Kingdom episodes, the Korean zombie drama, action, horror, whatever. It's fucking amazing. Nick is dead on right.
The last episode of season 1 and the opening episode of season 2, which are a great back-to-back feature.
I don't know that you can drop right in. I mean, you won't know who some of the people are, but honestly, Randy, if you watched nothing else, the season 1 ender and season 2 pickup of Kingdom are fucking stunning.
Kingdom is definitely on my list. I am at some point going to watch it.
I thought I was really, really tired and done with zombie bullshit, and holy crap, this is a beautiful show. And really cool. Season 1 ends with them prepping for a siege against zombies, basically, and then season 2 opens with the payoff of it, and it's fucking awesome. Like,
imagine the exact opposite of the Game of Thrones episode with the Longest Night of like, no, it happens during the day. You get to see all this.
You
cool
get to
shit.
see all of it. It's fucking great. It's crazy.
It's this is very much put on my list. I want to watch it. I just have needed to find the time to sit down.
It also is more beautiful than it has any need to be. Like no one told them. Okay. Like they did not need to go this hard with the set design and just costumes, all of it. Caught up on Reboot. Still loving that show. That is just a really well done sitcom. Like that you can tell like that's a room full of people who know how to write and set up jokes and are weaving them in. Like the payoffs are great. It makes a really fun meta thing of like them talking about writing jokes, doing callbacks in the show, characters calling each other out on it while also the show is doing it. I'm really enjoying Reboot. I feel like meta TV about TV is really weird to do sometimes and can fall really flat, and I'm really digging Reboot. Well, I, of course, watched 30 Rock, watched a couple episodes of Parks and Rec. Nick and I watched another full moon, Head of the Family, which is different than the Puppet Master franchise. At least it's not the same set of little core writers who work on that project in Full Moon. So it sounds different.
Let's be clear, and not in a different way that you would want to watch it, Randy.
No, I don't mean it like that, Randy. I just mean differently. Lateral move.
Don't worry.
All of these characters sound bug shit insane in a different way, but no one sounds like a real human.
Randy, if you see a Full Moon production company in front of a movie, you need to run the other direction.
Just turn it off. Dude, it's a Gravitas Ventures kind of thing.
Don't worry, guys. I know.
Of course, I watched episode 3 of Quantum Leap. I deeply want him to say "oh boy" so bad.
They have had him do the "oh shit" twice, and I wonder if that was their riff on it.
And they need to straight up have him say "oh boy." It's the only thing bothering me on the show right now. What is really working that I did not expect, while they're doing the like hard on your sleeve, aw shucks, help the case of the week, Quantum Leap, which is great. That's the cheese. That's the cheese I expected. The ongoing conspiracy of not knowing what he did, what Al's daughter's doing, and like the little things, like them not wanting him to get his memory back until they know what he's planning.
And that he's okay with it. I love that bit.
He gets it too.
No, you shouldn't tell me.
That sounds right.
What if I was doing this wrong?
The weird little reveals, like Al's daughter having his old handset, was super cool.
Also, it is clear to me, 3 episodes in, and they're telegraphing on purpose, I think, Al's daughter's trying to find Sam, right? Like that's what she's up to.
I assume so.
That's what this whole thing is about. The destination he's going for is the last place Sam was.
She's about to, which I figure at some point they're going to bring in Bakula for something.
Yeah, he said they didn't consult with him, and I'm like, you're full of shit. Yeah. I know they're bringing you back.
But I love that it looks like she's building a second hologram thing, so that there's going to be a competing voice in his ear. They're just like little stuff that they're making it. It's not exactly sinister, but they're giving it some just a little bit of plot teeth. Yeah, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm also wondering, like, are we going to see? Will Madison be able to see Al's daughter, or is it going to be two conflicting angel devil?
Betting they don't see each other. I'm hoping.
That's what I'm thinking too.
We'll see.
That'll be fun.
So far, I'm digging it. It's fun. There are little things about Quantum Leap like any show and any time travel show that you just can't think too much about. Like, in theory, he should code switch in his language every time, or he's going to sound suddenly weird. Like, he needs to put it on. And I know he can't do it. It's 2022, and that would be fucked up.
Oh my God, I just pictured it. Oh no.
But, I think it would be hilarious if he tried for a minute, because he jumps into like a black heavyweight boxer in 1978 or 9. And it would be great if he tried and the brother looked at him and went, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Yeah, Amos and Andy sounded bullshit, dude. You can't say that outside, man. Yeah. Like, glad you know how to fight. Fuck.
I like to imagine that basically, just as we are seeing him, we're not seeing what he actually looks like. We're not hearing what he's actually saying. It's coming out.
Yeah, I think that's how they've got to play it. And I want to say that's how they played it in the originals, though obviously they had Scott Bakula do a bunch of stuff in that show that you would not choose to do now.
No.
But yeah, I thought about that today of like, there's an argument to be made for him in character code switching, and it would be very, very bad to do that, I think.
Although now you're making me want to make a movie where Christopher Walken jumps into people and everyone...
And suddenly,
we never see Christopher Walken.
Yes.
And everyone will be like, "Why are you doing a Christopher Walken impression?"
Call it walking in my shoes.
Yes.
The tail end of this one, the teaser for next week, until they showed us the mirror, I swear to God, I thought he was going to be a gay dude. I thought they were doing a gay dude in a club thing. And I'm actually a little disappointed about the gender swap thing instead. But, whatever. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, enjoying that show so far. It's good. So I'd see. I also watched The Patient, which I agree. If that had come out all at once, I'd have already binged it all by now. It was great.
Yeah.
As it is, like either Fanny or I each week goes, "Is there a new The Patient?"
Yeah.
And then we watch it, and I've enjoyed each episode. Like,
yeah, I'm never sad that I caught up on it, but it's not The Americans. It's just not.
I've never watched The Americans, but I've heard that was a lot more driving than this.
Yeah.
Watched the Law and Order episode of last week tonight. Not the abstract concept, but the Dick Wolf show.
Yes. Oh man,
That was a hilarious
That
episode.
was good and brutal and terrible, just like all of last week tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're all TV immersed enough. I've read think pieces on the propaganda of the LNO mothership.
Oh yeah,
but it was still a cool breakdown. Watched My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I liked more than Randy, and finished out. I also loved. I have not read the book of that, but I read Horror Store by the same author. I really like.
That's by the same author as Horror Store.
Yep. So you didn't make it far enough in, I don't think, to get to the Power Team dudes.
No, the Power Team dudes are right at the outset.
Yeah, they're
they
on
come in
TV,
pretty.
they also visit the school.
But no, like
and
she
then they
goes
come
back
in
and
the third act too.
she goes back and finds him when she realizes shit's really wrong. She goes and finds him and he's dragging the cross around a mall, like a food court, and she's like, "You're the Lemon Brothers, right?" Seriously, yes, I'm dragging a cross around a mall. But the way that plays out, I loved. She's Jewish, and so throughout the exorcism, as he keeps like talking to her and like, "It's you're baptized, right?" Again, I am Jewish. Cool. Well, we'll make this work.
I do love the specificity. That's what almost got me. The specificity of the powerlifting Christian brothers, because man, those guys came to my school.
So Fanny didn't know that those were real. Like I started laughing and was like, "Fucking Power Team." And she's like, "What are you talking
What are you
about?"
talking
I'm like,
about?
I had to pull my phone out and like, these guys came to my school. Where's one of them tearing a phone book? That's the only thing that disappointed me. They don't tear a phone book in half. It's the only thing they should have done, I think, on stage that I didn't see.
When I've talked to friends, there are two kinds of people. They're the people who know exactly what the minute you say they're like, "Oh yeah, I know," and the people who are like, "What are you talking about?"
No, my school paid for them. Yes,
it's not geographical either. Like I was in Colorado.
I thought it was
random.
Southern, man. That's why I was
really
it's
surprised. Random.
I
mean, I know people who were in Texas who didn't know what the fuck they was talking about.
Oh man!
Whereas I was in Colorado, so it's like completely random where these guys went.
Yeah, that's so weird. Yeah, just full on spoilers for this a little bit. The finest moment in the movie is that they start that exorcism with only one of the Power Team guys, and he alludes that his brothers do this a lot. Like they really do this. Like that there's one possessed girl in basically every high school, and they do this a lot, but not him. Like she gets the like, "I need to prove something, brother," and they do enough of the exorcism that the demon genuinely comes out and fucks with him, and he just bails. Like they walk into the living room and he looks at the Jewish girl and hands her the Bible and goes, "Well, I mean, that's basically the hard part, getting it to show itself. You're good from here." And fucking and he fucks off. He's not in the rest of the movie. Like she's just in the living room going, "I don't have any faith in this shit. What the fuck?"
Carbo loaded.
Like oh god, yeah. When at one point they do something good and he runs out to carbo load and he just pulls he has like a chicken breast in a Ziploc bag and is just eating it. Like, this is great. This is going so well. Like, but him leaving her alone with this Bible and like, "You got it from here." With there were a couple of good moments. Not as good as Do Revenge, but I enjoyed it. It was cute.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd say it was cute, and the level of goo in their vomit scenes won some points for me. They definitely used at least something approaching the correct amount of slime and vomit. There were a couple of times where Fanny was like, "Fuck, just tell me when she's done throwing up," and like you'd hear the effect stop, and I'd be like, "No, and there we go.
That definitely didn't help. That definitely put me off a bit. But also, I didn't think it was funny. I didn't like the characters.
I've seen, it seems like the conflicting reviews I'm seeing on it. It seems to be whether the humor clicks or is all like, okay, well that's just unfunny as shit. Okay, that's cute. Like, whether you made it far enough to enjoy the Exorcism movie of it. Also watched because Fanny hadn't seen it. Watched Do Revenge again. That movie is a joy on rewatch. That twist makes it so fun. There's times of some side eye early on between characters where you're like, "Oh shit, that's great." Really enjoyed that, and of course, just been watching the crap out of Psych. And that's about it.
Nick, what about you?
Everything Les just said, and we're done.
Easy enough.
Yeah, I mean, me and Les like set a record for all the stuff we watched together this week. It was
we really did. We double featured Killer Shrews and Stay Tuned.
Although I will say, My Best Friend's Exorcism, I watched it as well, and I did watch all of it. And I'm on Team Randy on this one, a rare exception where I'm like, "Oh, this movie sucks."
Yeah.
like the tone of it is really weird.
Yeah, that's
not
the
only
thing,
does it I'm like, wait, I don't think I'm not finding this funny. I think it stops being funny for significant portions of this.
I don't think it's trying to be funny for a lot of it. It's weird.
Yeah, they veer into like straight horror movie, but they still look like Heathers. Yeah.
And they'll do dark shit, like the woman like accuses one of the kids of rape, and he's kind of a douchebag, but obviously didn't do it. And he punches her in the gut and tells her, I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire, and that never comes back.
Yeah. No, it's like there's a whole bunch of shit that I'm not sure why it's there. I didn't find it scary or funny.
He never gets comeuppance. He never they never address why his drugs didn't work.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of setup like that does not pay off, and the rules of it are like, okay, so you're at a Christian school, you have the power loader team. The two brothers do this all the time. They don't give a reason why the two brothers don't come along on the exorcism.
No, they don't at all. Yeah, it seems entirely like the two brothers are forgotten.
Their parents are super Christian, but they wait for the parents to leave to perform this exorcism. I'm like, no, they would be down for the exorcism. They're crazy religious nuts. If any parents would be down for this, it's those freaks.
Oh yeah, because the dad's listening to the fucking Jesus sell real estate tapes.
It's kind of like less when you and me say like you're undercutting your premise for the joke, except for you're undercutting your premise just to do stuff, because that's not even like part of the joke. It's just like, well, we don't want the parents in this scene, but it would make sense completely for them to be here, and there's no reason not to. Yeah, but we don't want them.
Like it would actually be funnier to have them help. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I thought between that and the like, it was kind of like what was that Friday? Freaky. What was it?
Freaky.
Vince Vaughn?
Yeah.
Freaky. Yeah.
I thought it was a really bad version of that.
I liked this better than Freaky.
I agree with that.
But yeah, it had the same issues of like half of this is great, a great idea, and half of it undercuts that half. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
What is that? As small as rats, perfect for scientific experiments, until they began to grow and grow into things.
They must eat 3 times their own weight of food every 24 hours or starve.
Or 300 giant shrews. Monsters weighing...
Blood-curdling, horrifyingly poisonous monsters.
It was the livestock. It's got into the bone.
The wildest of flesh eaters, threatening all mankind. Your flesh will crawl with fear at their nearness.
The shrews were out there. I couldn't take a chance.
All right. Well, just a reminder, you can support us by going over to patreon.com/tvdudes and throw us a bucket episode. In exchange, we get to keep with our streaming services, pay for our hosting costs, and you get bonus content each week. This week, it's home theater, and we're talking about X over on Showtime. We also have our $20 showrunner level, so if there are shows you want to throw in the rotation, you can buy us in at that level and give us a couple of ideas. Our good friend John Paul messaged me earlier today and asked me about a show I'd never heard of, which is John Paul's Motif. He said, hey, are you guys already going to watch Jungle on Amazon Prime, or am I going to have that be my other pick for the year? And I said, well, I've never heard of it, so you're going to have to be like, so I guess we're going to watch Jungle on Amazon, whatever that is. I hope to God it's not a sequel to Big Dogs.
It is not. It appears to be some kind of heist show, I think. So
okay.
Don't we have one more on the list that we're trying to get through as well?
There's another. Well,
there's
My Hero.
Yeah,
that's lurking out there.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
I thought we had one hanging.
We do.
One last thing, Nick and I have been prepping like mad for the launch of our Kickstarter for Henshin, which will be out on Tuesday the 11th in the 10 a.m. Central. On Tuesday the 11th, we'll be live and accepting donations. So yeah, henshin.com, HENCHIN.com. Nick and I are making a web series, sci-fi comedy.
Actually, I forgot to. I was like, oh man, we should mention that, considering it's all we've been doing.
It's literally all we've been doing, except like if it's literally like text each other. I just finished such and such bit of prep. Do you want to watch something stupid? Yes. So yeah, between pre-production and Kickstarter prep, it's been absolute madness, and everybody can finally see it on Tuesday.
Nice. All right, let's talk about our new shows for the week, and let's start off with So Help Me Todd, which is a new show over on Paramount Plus. I swear I meant to check this beforehand. Is this longer than 30 minutes? It felt longer than 30 minutes.
It felt way longer than that.
Okay, so it is a drama show, so it probably was like an hour long.
I assumed it's an hour long. It looks to be a good fight kind of procedural.
I thought this was going to be a comedy, and it looks like they're positioning it as a comedy.
So no, they are
dramedy-ish.
It's funnier than I thought it was going to be, but it is comedy with the air quotes around it that an hour long CBS. Isn't that who Paramount is?
Instead of jokes,
Drama.
things are just kind of cute.
Like Elementary had cute moments too, but was not a comedy, and this feels more like a cute Elementary.
So the pitch on this one is that Skylar Astin, you might remember from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
He was the replacement.
His replacement Greg on Ex-Girlfriend.
On Crazy Ex, yeah.
He was on Pitch Perfect movies. I have a fondness for Skylar Astin. He was also in Ground Floor, which was I think it was a short-lived Bill Lawrence show.
Yes, written basically for John C. McGinley, I believe.
Yeah, which I liked that show too. I've liked everything Skylar Astin's been in, even though I would hold none of it up as like the best thing ever. And that's mainly that and Marcia Gay Harden are why this wound up on our list. I was like, this looks bad. It's a CBS show. It's probably not going to be great. And I figured we'd watch an episode of it.
Marcia Gay Harden's putting a lot of weight on this show. She's doing the Lord's work here.
God, I didn't watch the commercial for this. I literally just read the plug on the Paramount Plus site. And it said something about like, tough as nails business mom hires her scruffy loser's son, but it didn't really get into like to do what or how. So I was like, oh great, this is just going to be uptight Marcia Gay Harden scolding a scruffy white dude for and like this is going to be bad. I damn them for finding that Marissa Gold lawyer investigator bullshit. I don't even know if that's a real job in a law firm. I don't care. When it opened with him getting photos of people in for real estate scams, for insurance scams rather, at the start of it, and I was like, okay, that's a little more interesting than I thought it would be. And I like Skylar. Damn it. And then Marcia Gay Harden is seriously, she is carrying a show. It's wild.
That was my reaction. Basically, the writing isn't even all that good. It's okay.
There was one moment around the dinner table where he says, it was like both my parents died and they let it hang, where I was like, okay, I'm not saying that's great writing, but it's a hair better than a CBS procedural needed.
Yeah. But it's like it is being carried, like you say, Marcia Gay Harden, Skylar Astin, and to some extent, Madeline Wise playing his sister.
The sister and even her weird husband, Chuck.
Yeah, they are carrying the show.
Mm-hmm.
And they elevate the material. And as a result, I'll probably watch at least another second episode. I thought the premise, the way they set up the premise, the whole like the telegraphed, it's his ex is working at the lawyer office and she's getting married, but the two of them are going to get back together. Like it's all very obvious, but in an enjoyable way.
Having watched a fuckload of Psych recently, this just slotted right in between two Psych episodes. And I was like, I'll watch another one of these.
I actually like, especially with Mr. Immortal we watched last week with She-Hulk. I love that. Like I knew that. Like, this dude's just leaving you. Like, and I like,
he's straight up leaving you.
Oh when he just walks down the street.
And I'm like, wait, are you faking your death so you don't have to confront you know how she is, but you should stop fighting with her. She loves you. You're really giving me advice right now.
Like you're telling me how to handle mom right now. Like I've only got 7 to 10 years to live. Like, dude, that's a long time.
Do as I say, not as I do.
I think Skylar Astin carried a lot of this. He was fun. And, but also Marcia Gay Harden, much as I love her, this is not her best role. Like if you compare this to her performance in Trophy Wife, she is so much more alive and such a better character in Trophy Wife.
Her character is the stick in the mud controlling mom, and she's playing the shit out of it.
She's missing that sarcastic edge, though. I think that's in the writing.
They roll her back and have her learn a lesson in the very first episode.
Yeah.
Like, so she doesn't get to be that, like, it takes most of the season in Trophy Wife for them to finally have the, like, drunk hangover episode where she's also vulnerable.
Yeah.
But until then, she's just basically, like, a fucking powerhouse. And in this one, they have her, like, when he knocks on the door to say, hey, Mom, I need to, here's the $1,000 or something like that. And she's just, like, cratered, and he's not seen her like that. And is like, the fuck, Mom? I think that undercuts that what would have been her comedic role.
Right. And also, like, in another recent one, in Uncoupled, she doesn't have the edge that she had there. And she was playing sort of a sad sack older woman, but for whatever reason, I'm going to put it down to the writing. This is not Marcia Gay
Aston's
Harden's
supposed
best
to be
role.
the one that's the edgier one, and she's supposed to be the... And I'm like, you should have really maybe not flipped this, but given her a little bit more of a bite.
It's not her best role, but it's still Marcia Gay Harden being good at what she does.
Yeah.
So
right. I love that the son is how eager he is to just, at the first drop of an opportunity, I'm going to break the law to get what I want. You're just ordering a pizza.
Impulsive edit. Yeah.
Like, stop doing that.
Yeah, that's what gave it the Psych vibe a little bit to me of like, dude, you're lying when you don't need a cover name. Like, it's problematic.
I went straight to Fletch because like he always is like just he'll make up a lie to try to get into a thing because it's worked for him.
I'm Inspector Chip from the Portland Gas. Oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
What was your name again? What name did I give you?
Yeah.
Are you asking me? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know it'll make it into the regular rotation, but I will watch the second episode, and I did not expect to be saying that.
Absolutely same.
I also did like that, like, oh, well, he was set up to get his PI license revoked because he went down for some illegal shit. I'm like, oh, so you went down for the couple illegal things you actually didn't do rather than all the illegal stuff
all of the
shit you did. Yes.
His constant, like we'll just, throw a couple burners over there. And like, I kind of like a show just casually using phone eavesdropping this much.
He has 2 burner phones in his glove department. I'm like, that is sketchy as shit, dude.
Yeah, he's got a little our RFID whatever GPS tracker thing, just ready to go. Like just Did not expect to enjoy this.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Mighty Duck Gamechangers, season 2. The notable thing here is that Emilio Estevez. So they open it with this thing of like. The gym got condemned, and I'm like, okay, I buy that, but why'd you guys do this? And then we find out Emilio Estevez is not in the second season.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, you guys had to pivot hard.
Yeah,
you lost your one tie to the actual original movie.
Franchise player, we'd say.
Yeah,
and the thing is, because they did such a good job in the first season of establishing these kids as the new heir to the legacy, and because Lauren Graham is a national treasure, I didn't even miss him.
No.
Like this whole thing that the reset works.
Dude, the show pretends he didn't exist.
Yeah.
They don't even mention him.
Yeah. She makes a couple of oblique references when she's talking to Josh Duhamel's character that sort of she's talking about him. Like she's tired of hockey coaches. But that's as far as it goes.
Yeah. She could easily be talking about Riley from season 1. Like
I know.
So like season 1 couldn't have worked without Estevez back.
No.
But season 2 doesn't, like the show no longer needs him. Yeah, and it's exactly because of the strength of setting up all these kids. I really love like seeing the whole team. I was like, oh yeah, and it's you, and it's oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe how charming this show is. And moving it to this like fucking psycho crazy hockey camp is hilarious.
Yes.
I just love the level of plot contrivance when they're standing there, like the Bash Brothers are demolishing the wall or whatever, and all their phones ding, and they're like, "Summer's saved. We're going to hockey camp." I'm like, "Are you now?"
And then the whole thing was a mistake, and they get to stay, and yeah.
Well, I thought that was funny. Of Josh Duhamel was like, "Oh, okay, this is a mistake. We actually invited the other Ducks. Oh yeah, but we won the name in an underground." Game.
Yeah, I understand.
What?
You won the name in some kind of underground
stupid
thing. Yeah, okay. That doesn't really matter to us.
But you lost the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was really glad to have 2 episodes to talk about this week because the first one was cute and established how they were going to set the season up. And I was like, all right, God damn it, I'm back on board. The second episode introduces the weirdos that Duhamel's got working there.
Oh yeah.
And I really enjoyed the woman who is basically trying to teach them how to like hysterically deadlift a car.
Yes.
And
oh man, the nutritionist, I made some avocado based chocolate mousse.
Why?
Of course, you can eat and relax and do whatever you want from 1 to 1:15. That's your time.
Oh my God, this isn't lunch. This is a lecture about a lunch.
Yes, that was great. This isn't lunch. This is a lecture about lunch.
Oh man, when he brings out the yams of like, oh, I got a special treat for your yams,
I love Nick
he's
later
thrown
jogging
the pizza into the trash, and the guy, one of the kids just breaks and he goes, "I'm going for the trash pizza."
I'm going
and
for
the other
the trash
kids
pizza.
have to stop, like, stop, no.
Yeah, when he gets off the track later and like runs to a Hilton Garden Inn or whatever.
Yes. Oh man.
But at one point he's running with a fucking yam in a foil, like wrapped in foil, like unwrapped like half a banana, and like.
By the way, give credit to that woman playing the clerk at the Hilton.
Yes.
Because that's a tiny little role, but she really
Staring
made a
him
meal out
down.
of it. The way she's staring him down, it's delightful.
Yeah,
I love that he didn't even have a plan. Like, what was your plan here, guy? I didn't have much other than running away from that place.
Yeah. Like, man, you know what? All my dreams are dead. I now have a new dream: cookie.
Very short-term goal oriented.
You know what,
right
kid?
now.
Free Sprite if you shut up. Noted.
Also,
Done.
I love that one of the kids starts to break down and cry. The girl, like the tough girl, and is like, "Wow, have you had one conversation with him? But
Yes.
that doesn't matter.
He's like my hamster who's also missing.
He's here and he comforts me."
Yeah. This is very cute. It gives me a lot of hope for Big Shot season 2 coming back too.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed and almost instantaneously forgot about both of these shows. And then when they came back, I'm like, oh no, that's still in there. I like these characters.
That's right. This is the fluff that helps me get through a week without stabbing people.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, I have written up a report in case the worst happens. What was some of the kids' favorite things? They're just prepared to find this kid's corpse.
Yeah. Delightful.
On the road to glory, ain't no turning back. Got to be the Mighty Ducks on the crack of time. Look out, clear the way. Ducks are here to play. Ducks rock. Mighty Ducks.
All right, y'all ready for dessert?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
All right, let's start with She-Hulk, and let me just start by saying the words I never thought I would say. I really enjoyed the use of Ella Gila, Manbull, and the Porcupine in this week's episode.
Sure.
What the fuck is happening? Did I find a genie and forget about it?
When they
what is
open
happening?
the porcupine's mask and the whole room,
It's like-
after working on that for weeks,
They're like, maybe put it back on and dry
till
clean
we
it
dry
first.
clean that. Oh my god, it's like a fart.
It's like they watched the cartoon for MODOK and got all the D-listers from that and was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but what if they were lamer than that?
Saracen. Oh my god.
That's a deep cut. I don't even know if I recognize that one.
And like, I love that they're very clear that he's not a vampire. He thinks he's a vampire. Like, it's just, that's how deep in the D list we are.
Yeah.
He just thinks he is.
But I also love that they're just, I mean, through the whole like self or whatever group therapy thing, when they hear She-Hulk's problem, they're all still villains, like low grade villains,
Yeah.
but they're all still
Yeah.
villains,
Yeah.
and their immediate plan is to go and kill this dude.
Kill
Like-
Josh.
Oh man,
He has
They
made an
decide
enemy of
they're
us all today.
Yeah, that was so good.
You have been warned about using bioelectricity in the group before.
Oh my god, when he stands up and lights that sword up.
You know where I know Ella Gila from? It's from the fucking Marvel Universe. I've never read a comic with him in it. Never ever. That is a deep cut.
Man, we're hitting characters that are like, wait, who?
That they bothered to use the bioelectricity. So like, no, we know. Also, the writer on this is Zeb Wells, who's a comics writer. He's currently writing Amazing Spider-Man. So I'm not super shocked that you knew it, but I'm shocked that they let those people in the writer's room. Also, that they do this whole thing, and it's actually kind of sweet. Like her story of like her coming through is very kind of sweet.
Her relationship, like her resolving things with Crowbar, actually kind of works.
Yeah. Also, that Abomination, I swear, I was like, well, what's his sinister plan? He's got supervillains. No, he really
Man,
is just
he
running
doesn't
a
have one.
self-improvement lodge. No, this is just what he wanted to do.
This is just a weird dude.
Yeah, it was this was a blast.
Obama
and
Namaste.
What I'm wondering about, we have the
Obama Stay
big
posters
mystery.
are great. I want those for sale now.
Oh, those were fantastic. There's a mystery about who is running the intelligentsia. What are they? Who wants her blood? And it's clearly not Titania. So who the hell is
I
it?
don't think.
What are we witnessing? Is it the leader? Are we gonna get
Maybe.
Tim Blake Nelson's leader in this? Like,
I
I don't know.
a couple years ago, I would have said they would never bring Tim Blake Nelson back, but like
They already announced they are.
Yeah, like so. I guess this is like they could easily be the leader. I thought Titania was going to be like the main villain, but that doesn't seem to be what's
she's just
been
a
happening
side,
this season.
side quest, yeah.
If anything, Jen is kind of like Titania's trying to keep up the feud, and Jen is like, I don't really like. I don't know what your deal is. Like,
yeah. Titania's trying to keep an influencer feud going for likes. Yeah.
My only gripe this week is not enough of Mallory Book and Nikki, and also where's Pug? We're missing Pug.
Yeah, I can't believe I want more Lawyer Show on the Lawyer Show.
But it was a really good episode, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's as we record this.
I didn't know who they were talking about when they did like, oh my god, it's this guy. You probably don't even remember who he is, do you? Okay, I feel called out for that, but yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Was he on the previously on? Fuck it.
Do it.
I knew who it was.
Yeah, same. I think I want to say tomorrow's episode is going to be the Daredevil reveal.
Well, I know for sure that Frogman's in it because they're promoting that on the on the Disney Plus ads, which is great.
I'm sorry, Frogman?
Frogman, yeah, Frogman.
Wow.
I hope that I much as I want to see Daredevil, I hope they save it for like the teaser on the final episode. And that's just it. That's all there was of Daredevil.
It sounds like there's going to be more in, like, he's going to be in more of this series than I thought. Like, at least that's what I've heard from some of that stuff.
Yeah, we will see. But I love this show. It's easily my favorite of the Marvel shows. Having rewatched the Assembled and watched the behind the scenes for Miss Marvel and Hawkeye, which the ones that are in contention for me, I'm like, no, this is absolutely the best thing Marvel's done on TV.
Agreed. Which is weird because I was like, I gotta with all the think pieces of like, is She-Hulk too woke or whatever, or like go back and forth. I'm like, is it? Because I'm shot. I'm like, this is like the best thing the MCU has put out for me, and I don't since at least Thor Ragnarok, which was specific to me.
Yeah,
like all of the goofy crossovers and the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe type dumb shit one shots that we all love, like that comics are built on. And
yes,
like an MCU show gets a little silly, and it's suddenly like, Marvel's wasted 2 minutes of my adult life with this unserious comic show. Like, what the fuck, man? I mean, She-Hulk's always been a horn dog in the comics.
A support group with Porcupine, fucking Man Bull.
That shit's hilarious.
Like, that's what I live for, man. That's why I'm watching this.
I read a lot of Justice League, Antarctica, Midwest Avengers, like whatever, Great Lakes Avengers. Like,
when you're on a coast, when they have to specify what region you're in, you're not in the main team.
Yes, for all the kids that loved every fucked up Legion of Superheroes spinoff or every D-list, like, I just don't understand it. It feels like a lot of the things that people bitch about on She-Hulk are things that we love in pretty much every other comics medium.
Yep. All right, y'all want to talk about Star Trek Lower Decks?
The Deep Space Nine episode.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this since the trailer came out. I should confess here that I've only seen, I've seen less of Deep Space Nine than I've seen of Next Gen, and I've seen maybe like 2 or 3 seasons of Next Gen. I am a bad Star Trek fan.
Dude, all I know about Deep Space Nine is that from the little I've watched is Quark is a piece of shit.
and Cisco's a badass.
Yeah, you got
Cisco's
it.
A great
you got
captain.
it. Yeah.
And apparently that's all you need to know, because I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I can track this.
I like Deep Space, but it is a weird Star Trek show compared to others. I mean, in the same way that like Voyager's not like the other shows, like Deep Space has its own weird, almost not. It is. I want to say it is the first one that started dealing with any level of consistent stories where you're touching on people who aren't in the Federation.
Well, it was Ronald D. Moore. It was his prelude to Battlestar Galactica, essentially. So he brought in that
makes
sort of
a lot
darker
of sense.
tone.
Oh,
yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah.
When you know that and go back, you're like, oh,
because it's got a Bab 5 vibe
similar.
too. I mean, like just the setup.
There's rumors stoked by JMS that basically he brought Babylon 5 to Paramount. Somebody got a look at his pitch and they turned it down, and then they did Deep Space Nine. I don't want to get into all that, but there's definitely you can be like, I can see where the Foundation might have been like, hey, but this is a good idea, Space Station.
Nah, we're not into fables right now. Write up the script for Once Upon a Time.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
whatever.
water
We got
under the
both
bridge.
shows. But yeah. Deep Space is fun, but different than a lot of Trek. I was interested to see Lower Decks go there.
But this opened with that great bit of like, well, just they're waiting for us. Just rotate around the thing. Pretend we're all the pylon.
Yeah, pretend we're on.
No, keep
Keep
going.
going.
Yeah, circle it one more time.
That cracked me up. I love Tendi. She's becoming one of my favorite characters, and the whole Adam Pally as a fake Orion trying to be the pirate, and the payoff that she had. All the pirates she didn't want to show it off.
You grew up in like
was
Ohio.
Delightful. Yes, he grew up in Ohio.
I loved that reveal that like
I was adopted.
Yeah, that like he's always had to flex because all the kids expect him to. Yeah. Her immediately turning into like, well, I guess if we need a pirate.
The reason I loved Adam Pally in this so much though is I kept picturing his Happy Endings character as an Orion, and that made me happy.
Yeah.
I love that Tendi is like, okay, all that stuff I was mad at you before, like the stuff I'm mad about Orions, I do know how to do all that, but it is racist for you to assume that
I do.
Yeah, it's a stereotype.
I do know it.
That it happens to be true in this case, but it's still a stereotype, and you should feel bad.
It's still a stereotype. It's still not cool.
Yeah.
She screams attacking that one guard, and he just jumps off the fucking balcony.
Yes.
Like, oh my god!
When she's still got the tooth.
Yeah. The much like the Rutherford episode made me like Rutherford more. I think I need a little edge to my nerds, and I think they gave both of them that, and I think that works.
I like that Tendi is a trained in psychopathic pirate stuff, but is a nerdy doctor at heart, and like
yeah.
Also, I love that the Jen relationship is getting time to shine now. Finally,
yes,
and
that was cute, and I went away.
I love that she's openly just in Mariner's bunk, like she just rolls right out, like, oh, I thought you were still asleep. Obviously, they've just been fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I like that didn't go where I thought they were going to go with it. I thought they were going to do the break them, especially because they had the archaeologist waiting in the wings.
It turns out Jen's insane.
No, I wanted to see you destroy them.
Yeah, she's like, they're afraid of you. That's way better.
Why are you being so? I wanted you to flip out and tase all my friends. And the look she gets when Mariner starts to actually tase them is a weird like, are you turned on by this?
And also, all the stuff with Quark was fun. But what was great for me though was Nana Visitor's Kira and the other guy from their security team, Jax. The two of them going back and forth on, no, I saved you, you saved me, and I owe you.
No, I owe you one. No.
That was a fun riff on that whole comparing scars.
I busted off that prison. We were both in prison there. Yeah. That doesn't count.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that and thought that was a fun little bit.
Bold Boimler winning like fucking, I don't know how much money on whatever their version of roulette is.
Oh yeah, they're fucking Baccarat Dabo game. Yeah.
Pretty good for a dude with a purse.
And then they keep scanning him. Like, I know you're cheating. Like, no, he's just doubling down as dumb as possible.
Yeah.
Let it ride.
And the ultimate payoff is, I'd rather have some gift certificates. Like,
right, because honestly, that is right for him. Because Starfleet doesn't even use money.
Starfleet doesn't use money. What is this? It's useless to me. But gift certificates are great. Yeah.
To him, that's no difference. Like,
yeah.
But like, you can see the escalating tension of like, he can't win this role. It'll break the entire casino.
Yes. And how offended the Ferengi are when they're like, wait, you don't even care about the money?
Yeah.
Just the fact that they're about to bankrupt him is not as upsetting as the fact that he does not care about this. Like, you mother.
It's offensive to our religion.
Yeah.
And of course Mariner knows Quark. Like they brush by it by the end of it, but like he's like, Mariner, you better have some fucking linoleum in your pocket or whatever. Nah, but I do have this hologram of you with your head like photoshopped onto what's her name's body, or was that what it was? Like some weird shit.
I destroyed all copies of that.
Yep.
No, you didn't.
Like what?
Just super fun. All right. And thank you to our listeners. Thank you to our patrons. Remind you can go to patreon.com/TVDudes. Throw us $1 an episode. And this week you listen to us talk about X. And until next time,
TV Dudes out.
The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast out of Austin, Texas. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/TVDudes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is done by our friend and original TV Dude, Gregory J. Amani Smith.
to find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com. I'm Randy Lander.
I'm Les Weiler.
And I'm Kyle Scott.
Thanks for listening.